formulated. Okay, we will wait for 5 more minutes for everyone to join in, and we will resume our session at 7:10. Thank you. Guys, good morning. We will resume our session now. I think most of us have joined into the session, and couple of minutes. So I'll be start sharing my session.
Yeah, ma'am, you can.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Gopi. So guys, if please confirm if you can see my screen. Okay, so I believe most of you have joined to to learn how the new tool Automation Anywhere works. Okay, before that, before we start with Automation Anywhere, could you please let me know how many of you have a previous working experience on the tool, or maybe have gotten knowledge or chance to see or go through around the tool? Anyone? Anyone on the call who has experience or maybe have heard even the name of Automation Anywhere? Okay, I believe no one knows anything about Automation Anywhere. So let us do one thing. Before we start with the training agenda, why don't you all introduce yourself, telling us who you are and what the background, whether you are into the development field or you are into the process field. Okay. So anyone who has a mic can please start. So I've seen, yeah, Rupa, please go ahead.
Yeah, actually I was working as a production support engineer and I want to change my domain to automation anywhere developer. So I heard that it is basically for automating the manual and rule-based tasks. So I heard that there is good career for this one and I just want to start it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rupa. Yes, absolutely correct. We will talk about this more in our training session. Thank you so much. Next, anyone would like to volunteer and give their short introduction so that we all know?
Hey, this is Rahul.
ఇందులో సౌండ్ రాదు
Hello.
అండ్ హెడ్ఫోన్ యూస్ చేస్తే మాట్లాడాలి.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Rahul.
All right. So I'm into QA, um, like quality assurance for many years, and I have worked on uh, Selenium for last 2-3 years, and before that manual testing and mix of automation and manual. But I'm just curious to know about this tool because there might be a like requirement to implement this one, but I'm not sure whether this tool will work with mainframe type system or not, and whether there is any relation that can be uh, uh, that this tool can be used in the QA area.
Okay, thank you so much, Rahul. To the objective and to your expectation. Firstly, we use automation in RPA field. When I say RPA field, I mean robotic process automation field. Now again, when we do an automation testing and when we do a robotics process automation, ideally the test cases or the script that we make are similar. I mean, both are one and the same thing. But the objective, the end output of process automation is to automate a process, but automation testing is to get the testing feasibility of the application, maybe with respect to speed, maybe the hits. So it depends on what basis you are using the tool for. So again, if you want to use this tool for testing, you can go ahead and use it. But in the market that we are currently using, it is it for to automate the process automation. Just for your information, so Automation Anywhere has a specific testing tool as well called as Testing Anywhere, which is built to do automation testing. So maybe if you can check that as well, okay. And similarly, again, since we are going to, in our training agenda, we are going to talk about how you can create automation scripts, okay, to automate a process from process A to B, and we'll be seeing how different variations of use case can be seen across different applications protocol, okay.
So does it mean that um, that testing part, like test anywhere, like will also be covered as part of this training?
So Testing Anywhere is a different tool, okay, but yeah, both of them works the same way. So whatever commands that I have it here would be there in Testing Anywhere as well. But yeah, the look and feel of both of the tools are different. Why? Because in testing, you would need to, the end output of testing is different and the end output of process automation is different, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about how about automating mainframe type system? Like we have some simulator, mainframe simulator, something like that. Um, so can that be uh, automated? I mean, does some information that needs to be uh, passed through for the transaction, and there's some rule that is specified, that are some of the like as part of the rule there are some mandatory optional uh, like fields that can be automated.
Yes, absolutely. So with the help of the tool, Automation Anywhere, now Automation Anywhere tool, it is inbuilt with a lot of different commands and functionalities which we can use as a simple drag and drop options. Now this will give you feature to use to automate your already existing application, which might include which mainframe, to your web page, to your desktop application, to even your recipe, or even to your database. So in the entire training session, we will look how you can do all these things. Okay, we'll take in consideration more question with respect to this at the end of the session, because right now I other people and even including you would need a brief regarding what the tool is about, and many of your questions would be solved once you get an idea about what the tool is and how does the tool work. Okay. Next, anyone who would, the remaining, Ramakrishna and Ramanji, if you can please let us quickly know your introduction as well so that we can continue with the training session. Okay, so I believe they are not on the call. Just join into the attendance list. Not a problem. So guys, we will continue. Okay, in this session, my objective is to take you through the Automation Anywhere training program. Also, along with that, give you a brief regarding what Automation Anywhere is and how the working is being done. So Automation Anywhere, provided by the company Automation Anywhere, has different tools available with them. For RPA, the tool that they use is Automation Anywhere Enterprise, okay, wherein we automate the process which are manual, repetitive. The rules are structurized. We have rules defined for each and every step, and we have an input data available. We have input sources available where, when I say input, as in the input source, the input files, which can be your text file, can be your CSVs, Excels, PDF, or even an internet data table. Okay, so the moment you have a data with you, okay, and if you have a use case, let's say your use case is filling up an invoice on your ERP application and then processing the invoice simultaneously on an SAP application. So you will have a step-by-step approach. Now these step-by-step approach are structurized. That means you are first taking the information, downloading the information from an ERP application, and then you are, after reading all the data of the invoice, you're going on to the SAP to process the payment. So the steps here are structurized. But if you see that your use case or your process does not have your steps structurized, then you need to have first the process structurized, and then you can apply an RPA solution to it. Okay. Now, Automation Anywhere, the company, the tool that currently we are using for process automation is Automation Anywhere Enterprise. Okay. The version that we're currently using is 10 Service Pack 2, which is the latest one, and it has a lot of bugs which was earlier available in Service Pack 1 resolved. Now, what all I can do with the help of the Automation Anywhere Enterprise client? Okay, so you can convert all your manual repetitive jobs into your automation script. That is the first piece. Apart from that, okay, now since the application is built as an enterprise frontline, so instead of automating it for just process, you can also identify other different specific regions. So for example, let's say you're having a list of invoices. Okay, you've been shared vendor list, okay, along with the scanned images. Now with the help of the component of an IQ bot, you can also include that, scan it with the help of OCR engine inbuilt, train them to read and extract all the invoice data, and then again simultaneously paste it into the next level of processing, wherein you'll be posting your invoice on an SAP. So there are various applications and there are various service lines on wherein you can apply your RPA solution. Now this service line can range from finance to healthcare to IT to even infrastructure to even telecom. Okay, let's say for example, when we talk about the telecom industry, the most simple and the most day-to-day program or the process that we see is customer getting a call asking to change maybe a plan. Let's say I'm a Vodafone customer and I'm calling Vodafone call center asking them to change my plan from 899 to 1099. So customer will take in the data, he will talk with me, he will gather the input, he will explain me all different sort of plans and available discounts that I have. And once he have the input data, he can trigger an automation process to do the entire restructuring of my offer. So robot here would be responsible to take data from the user and then select the appropriate offer or select the appropriate change of plan that I'm asking and send a confirmation email saying that it has been changed. Now this kind of automation that we just talked now is the user assisted automation, wherein we will have some kind of manual or a user assistant available frequently with the exchange of data. Why this? Because now in your use case scenario, there could be a scenario that it does not require any user assistant, but there could be a scenario wherein you use a manual user interaction in between your process. So we plan our solution in such a way that it meets the expectation of either an unattended automation or whether it's an assisted automation. Now the next question that generally comes up is who this solution is built for. I mean the people that who can work. Now, Automation Anywhere, the scripting or the structurizing of the code. Okay, so now since we are going to build scripts, scripts are built on an algorithm. Okay, now these algorithms are nothing but the logical way of our thinking. So if you can put a logical thinking upon of how you can go from A to D with different if scenarios and a different loops in and everything, the oops fundamentals, yes, you can go ahead and you can learn the tool. Okay, why? Because tool has a very simple easy drag and drop functionality, and the structure, the syntax of Automation Anywhere is quite pretty easy. Okay, now again, that is my overview. But yes, I have seen in my practical experience that the people from the operations who does not have a technical background are able to learn the tool and able to adapt it. Now, provided that they have prior experience on any kind of macro or maybe a VB programming development experience. So here you need to have the basic OOPS to go ahead and start automating. And secondly, the most important is you should have a proper logical and ability skills with you. Okay. Now, what are the components of this tool? So if I have to talk about Automation Anywhere component, okay, so we have Automation Anywhere being divided into two parts, which is the client room and the control room and the client. Now, control room is a server which acts like a server, and it's a central repository and wherein it will hold all the information of my clients. Okay. Now, these clients are responsible to either create your automation script or run your automation script. Okay. Now, once I'm done with my project, I upload it on my control room since it's a central repository, and now all different 100 clients which are connected to the control room will get the same project and will start running them. Okay. So that is the first aspect, two components, control room and client. Client is responsible for either development or either running of your script, which is why the client has been identified and named as either bot creator and bot run. Okay. Now in the training, what we are going to do and how we are going to do. So we have a systematic plan here. Okay. We will first start with targeting what a control room is and how the control room works, involving the study of understanding how the product is built, what is the architecture around it, okay, and what are the different components of a control room. Now, since control room is a component which is going to be used by only one person in the practice, only the administrator has the access to control room, so we will try to wrap up and see all the components on a higher level. Now, once we're done with the training, we will go back and then see how the control room is maintaining my data, maintaining my scripts which I have just created. So there we will see the user applications. Okay. Secondly, we will talk about the client. Now when I say client, it's bot creator or bot runner. Now the name suggests bot creator helps you create your task, whereas bot runner helps in playing your task. Okay. So for example, once my project is done and I don't need no more development activities to be performed, I will directly migrate it down into a desktop wherein I'm having my bot runner, which would be only running my scripts. Okay. So in our training, each day has been divided in learning different commands and features, and we will try to cover them and with the help of use cases. Now again, these use cases would be something which would be inspired from the real life challenges and real life situations. So for example, how these use cases would be. It could be how you can extract an invoice and process into an ERP application. But yes, since we don't have access to applications like SAPs or Oracle, we will try and go ahead and do it with our available handsets of application. Additionally, we will also try to see the advanced command and how we can use a complexity of different variation in the existing code with the existing command, and we will also understand how you can solve that. Okay. We will also cover metabots and the best practices of coding and development, which will be going on during the entire duration when I'll be training you guys on different commands. Okay. So this was few training objectives that we intend to cover during the training sessions. Okay. Outcome. Now, once you are done with the training sessions, you would have a good understanding of the RPA and its use cases. And obviously, you will be fully fledged to bake and start build your own automation scripting, whereas you'll be fully aware about all the components of all the automation anywhere as a tool. Okay. Now again, now since you'll be now comfortable creating the script, you will be also knowing how you can use various different recorders commands and also the hierarchy that we followed in identifying, or rather I would say judging, which tool would be better for which sort of applications. Okay, so these are few outcomes that we intend to get during the end of the training program, and this is the agenda. Request you to please ignore the time here, 180 minutes. Okay, so we have divided for the training session would be ranging from 1 to 2 hours. Okay, now depending upon everyone's flexibility, we will come up with a plan wherein we will identify whether the training need to be wrapped up in an hour or 1.5 hour or 2 hours, and day by day we will cover these topics in this alignment. Okay, so in day one, I'll be having normal control room discussion, control room components. Then we will move to the architecture along with the dashboard, look and feel of both control room and client. And then we will go with the multiple recorders. Okay, then we will also go and see how we can use individually each application level based tools that are available. So we have a list of tools available in automation anyway, which we will take a look and understand it further. Okay. Guys, any questions up till now?
So, like you were saying that you'll be covering the tools in Automation Anywhere, but at the beginning you said that tool that you'll be using it is Automation Anywhere Enterprise.
Yes.
So the tools you're talking about Enterprise, or there are other tools also as part of
Okay.
Automation Anywhere?
See, Automation Anywhere is a company which are having various tools. The tool that we are going to go learn is Automation Anywhere Enterprise. Okay.
Okay.
Now again, in market, when we say Automation Anywhere, we actually mean Automation Anywhere Enterprise. So
Okay.
both are auto-assumed.
Okay.
Since that is the tool which is the face value of brand, so whenever I refer Automation Anywhere tool, please consider it as Automation Anywhere Enterprise tool. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, I'm really sorry, but I'm getting a very important phone call. Okay. I would really like everyone to just hold on for 2 minutes. I'm really sorry. Apologies guys to keep you waiting. I'm back. Okay. So before we start in the next session which talks about the prerequisite, okay, we will see what is the prerequisite and then we will move to the phase wherein I'll show you the tool. Okay. So as a part of a prerequisite, your system should have automation anywhere installed, okay, so that during the entire training curriculum, okay, I'll be sharing with you few exercises, use cases, wherein you need to create on your desktop, and the next day we will review and we will identify and we will see the challenges faced during the development of the scripts, okay. So we have automation anywhere. So in order to install automation anywhere, we have few other components required, which are MS SQL, okay, and .NET framework requirement of 4.6 and above. And also we need few other stuff, for example, Adobe Acrobat in order to work with the PDFs. MS Office, since we are working with the Excel automation, we would need MS Office. And also, if you're working for OCR, okay, if you have a specific requirement of OCR, then you also need to have your MODI enabled, okay, and then your I should be I11 and higher, okay. Yes, you can work with I9 as well, but yeah, there would be a lot of limitations, okay. And then followed by that, you will have a step-by-step procedure in your installation guideline that you can follow and you can install your tool. Okay, so now this is how and where you can download your .NET Framework, IIS and SQL Server. Okay, now I'll take you through the automation anywhere. How does it look? Okay, and how it works. So the first component that we will see here would be the control room. Okay. Yeah, so this is my control room. Now, as I said earlier, it is a central governing repository along with the wherein we will all the manipulation of the client would be done. So as you can see on the dashboard, okay, I will quickly cover few aspect of control room and I'll quickly cover few aspect of automation anywhere development client. Okay, so the dashboard, I'll try to explain you with the dashboard availability functionality, what all control room can do. So as you can see, as of now, I have two register client, which means there are two clients which are registered to my control room, and these clients could be either bot creator or bot runner. Okay. Now again, for example, I just want my client to just run the code without any access to Metabot or any other upload or download functionality. Then I can go under the user settings, under the security, and I can access my restrictions to particular users. So all the user privileges, all the access to all the folder and each component of all these clients are being governed by the administrator of the control room under the security section. Okay, this is the tab that I'm talking about. Now again, in the user management, okay, in this tab you will see all the list of user and you will have an option to add your user, modify your user, allocate a license, and then align the roles and privileges, okay, to the security, to the roles which we have defined under the security. Now under the user management, as you can see, this is the user management screen, task in progress. So for all my connected clients, whatever task that is running currently on their system. So when I say task, I mean scripts, automation scripts. Okay, I'll have a look of all the entire list here under this section, wherein I can see that, okay, fine, on client 1 my code ABC is running, and on client 2 my code XYZ is running. Okay, if in case it error out or there is any kind of error or failure, we will get to know here in the task in process manage queue. Okay, the next section that we have is the scheduling piece. Okay, so you can schedule your task, okay, and you can see all the list of upcoming tasks, what are the schedulers available for your entire enterprise. Okay, now again, the most important aspect is the repository. So since the control room handles the entire repository, once your project is done, the bot creator should go ahead and upload it on control room for other runtime users to deploy it and download it at their end and start running the completed project. Okay, so this is how, and these are the few basic stuff in the control room that governs and controls all the clients. Okay, the moment we will start a session, we will take a look into detail how we can use it, which are the aspects to do it, and how exactly it works. Now I'll move to this place where we are actually building the code. That particular section is called as Automation Anywhere Client. So the one that you currently see on my screen, okay, it's a desktop based application. Previously the control room was a web based, okay, if you were not aware. Okay, now this is the client. If you remember, initially I had mentioned that it could be a bot creator or a bot runner. Bot creator will have privileges to create your scripts, run it, and also build it and edit it. So I can see new button, record, run, and edit, which means that this is my bot creator. If I had just the option of run button, then it would have clearly identified that it's my runtime. Okay, run bot runner, which is responsible for only creating my bot script. So here is my entire folder list wherein I have different automation project built for different purpose. Okay, and I also have different components here, for example, metbots and IQbots, workflows, and different properties, schedulers, and trigger, which are aligned for one particular automation. Okay, now we will quickly see one recording, okay, wherein I'll show you how my automation script will work. Okay, so I'll use a recording component. Now again, you have two functionalities open for you. You can either record and edit and then run your code, or you can directly edit, jump to the task editor, which is nothing but a script editor pane, wherein you can create your script by dragging and dropping each command and then build it and then run it. Okay, so here what we're doing, we will be doing a web form filling exercise. So I'll be going to one web-based application. Let's say, for instance, I'm going to the Automation Anywhere web page, and there I'll be filling up the all the information of that I require, and I'll be submitting my form. Okay, so for that I'll select my recorder and I'll select the URL. Okay, so I have my URL here, and the moment I'll hit on start, it will start an automation IE session wherein I can record my steps. Now since here I'll be normally doing my manually steps, but in the back end, my Microsoft engine is, sorry, not Microsoft engine, but the Automation Anywhere engine identify the objects at the object level and extract all the properties of that particular component or the object. So for instance, if I'm writing my first name as first name, okay, and then I'll move to the last name. Okay, let me fill it again full, and I'm writing the email address as first at last at xyz.com. Filling up the country, let's say I'm going ahead with Afghanistan, and I'm writing the phone number as some random number. And in the description, I need to specify why my result is, it's a test, please ignore. And then I'll submit the form. Okay, so while I'm doing my step, while I'm just going ahead and creating my use case, my Automation Anywhere is actually extracting all the page properties in the background and giving me out the object attributes. Now these object attributes could be ranging from either their ID, their values, their caption, their position, okay, their class, subclass, and everything. Okay, so post this, if your requirement is simple, okay, and if you don't need to get inside the technical detaility, you can create your script, edit it normally, and then run it. But again, if you have specific technical requirement, enhances. For example, every time my web page is having a different change of text box for wherein my properties are changing. So then I'll again troubleshoot and check all my attributes that are available, and I'll select the basis one, which is not dynamic in nature. Okay, now I have completed it, so I'll close the page and I'll stop my recording. So I have my recording created, and in order to go ahead and save it, I need to write in a task name. So let's say web recording 23. Okay, I have created it here. If I want to run it back, I'll just need to select it and run it back, and this will mimic exactly whatever I have done. But again, please note that this is not as per the base of the screen recording, but in Automation Anywhere, we have different recorders built for different purposes. So since this is a web recorder, this won't work on your desktop application. So for desktop application, we again have different functionality, different commands to use. Now, as you can see, it was so super fast that we didn't even got a time to actually take a look at the code. So I'll quickly run it again, okay? And I'll pause the place where it is closing the browser so that we can get a chance to look at the code. Yeah. Okay, so here it has automatically fill up these values which I had given it while recording the step. Now, when I say that record your step, customize it and run it, I mean record your step, add in, replace in your hard-coded value with the external variables that you might to read the data from. For example, I'm doing a form filling exercise for 100 set of users. So I'll be reading the data from an Excel. So these values would be now coming from an Excel value. So the combination, the adding of Excel is something that I need to go into my task editor and do a combination or a mashup of both of them and then execute the task on a whole. So here it has done exactly what all, it has inserted all the values that I have done, and after hit and submit, as you can see the page is submitted, it will close the session. Okay. Now if I wanted to take a look, how does the script looks like? I'll go into the edit, which will take me to my script editor, which we call it as a task editor. And that is a pane where you can also manually create your script by using the drag and drop command feature. Okay. So as you can see, this is my scripting line. Now execution, how does the execution work here? Execution work here in a line by line approach in a sequential manner. Now, the script lines that we built, these are user friendly. Okay, so even if I wanted to understand what does my script do, I can read it out and I can understand. As you can see, the first line is to opening the URL for the contact us. The second one is setting text. First name is the value into first name in the web page. So in this way, I can understand and I can simultaneously, this is how why it becomes very easy for a person to do a scripting here. Click on submit, that is a command button in the web page. Now when I was earlier talking that web recorder will extract all my page property. So these are irrespective of your screen coordinates on irrespective of your desktop. So if I'll go ahead, copy this task and deploy it on any other Windows system, any other desktop, it is going to run because this is something which is extracting the data out of a website and the attributes and it is working on those. Okay. Now, for instance, I would want to make it on my own. How can I do it? Okay. So on the left, I have list of different varieties of commands available. Now, these commands have different set of automation that we can use. So currently the web recorder activity that I have done, the commands which are being used here are from web recorder command. So if I'll unbranch it, it will again give me a list of multiple tools that I can use under the web recorder. Okay, and if I wanted to do it again, it would be pretty very simple. How I can do, I just need to drag, drop the component and do as per the steps. Okay, so my step one says open the URL. Okay, it would be, if I had to go ahead and do it, manually do it, how I have to do it, simple. Take your recorder, drag and drop, launch your website, capture the properties, identify whether that property, the attributes are not dynamic in nature, that is they don't tend to change in time, and then select your action. So let's say for example, I am doing an activity wherein I am storing my first name. Okay, the moment I did a capture, I get all the control details, and in the advanced view I can see the attributes, the page attributes name given here. So my objective here is to set text. What set text? I want to set text as a first name into my column first name, and I'll hit on OK. Okay, as you can see, this line is something that I have just created, and this line which was already being created by the recorder. So using this drag and drop functionality, You can create the same thing that your recorder does it for you. But again, as you can see, if I'll do a drag and drop here, it will take me at least 5 to 6 minutes for dragging and dropping, capturing each individual action item. But here in the web recording, it has actually done the entire stuff in 1 minute. And now I can just attach it with the input data source wherein the data would be reading from. Okay. When we're talking about the commands and features that are available, okay, you can see a different list of command here, ranging from my Citrix automation to database automation. Okay, we have steps, commands for email automation, how we can handle errors and exceptions, Excel automation, how you can play around with your files and folder, image recognition, which is nothing but how your surface automation works, and your loops, how you can insert a loop. So we have a list of loops available. You can use this loop. You can create your own loop with your logical and analytic ability and create it on, use it in your script. You have manage Windows control, which will be working on your operating system based application. Then you have object cloning, which is a tool which is built to work on any platform, whether it's a web, or desktop, or even a Citrix automation. It can work on everywhere. Again, we have commands for PDF integration wherein you can integrate your PDF, extract data out of it, read from CSV wherein you can read the data from a text file or a CSV. If you have your web services, you can use a SOAP or REST web services, pass in your web services detail along with the push or get, any method that you're using, and that the job would be performed by the web services component which is there in the automation anywhere. Apart from that, another a lot more different options available which are actually covering your mostly all the various set of application. This before, like Rahul mentioned, terminal emulator. So for all the legacy application, we have a terminal emulator using which we try to automate the mainframe applications. Okay. During our training session, we will try to go through each and every command one by one, and we will try to understand how we can use it. Okay, and what are the different variations and what are the do's and don'ts of using them and the applications. Okay, so guys, this is from my end to show you how automation works. Okay, over to you guys for the questions.
So you are going to cover that a terminal simulator, right? Like a terminal, uh, like what is the emulator or simulator, whatever it is.
Yeah, so I will be explaining you how terminal emulator will be working, but I don't have a mainframe application on my
Yeah, that's
laptop
right.
design. Yeah, so that is something which won't be able to explain with respect to the application base. But yeah, if you have an application with you, maybe at your laptop, then yes, definitely we can try and use it. I
Yeah, I
can
mean,
show you.
like you can at least like guide us, right? That like these
Yeah,
are the steps needs to be performed. At least we can try at office there, like because the course that was shared, it has only few comments mentioned. So there that the terminal emulator is not mentioned. So that's why I just want to.
yeah, the reason why is, again, these mainframe applications are actually legacy applications. Okay, now terminal emulator is built for few, let's say for example, it works very well on AS400 and few other IBM mainframe application. But yes, it could be possible that it does not get connected to your the organizational legacy application. Okay, so during that instance wherein my terminal emulator as a command is not able to recognize and connect to the legacy application that I'm using, so in that way, in that scenarios, we go ahead and use the different approaches. Okay, now these approaches can be either app integration or maybe your normal navigational icons that we can use it. But yes, we will talk about how alternatives you can use if your terminal emulator is not working, and if your terminal emulator is working with your application, then how can you use it. Okay, now one golden rule here, guys, and this golden rule is for everywhere. Okay, so we have a lot of command, as you can see. Okay, for web, to in order to do a web-based application, activity. I also have a web recorder to do it. I also have a object cloning to do it. Okay. I also have image recognition, which is a surface automation to do the same stuff. Okay. So based on the application feasibility with the automation tools that we have available, we are going to create a task in such a way that we have a lot of options available on the table. Okay, now I can use any of the tool which I want, but my tool, picking of those tool and on the application that I'm currently working would be solely based on the confidence that I have in the each tool. Okay, now which we will see in our training session. What tool is capable of what? Okay, what are its reliability? What are its applicability? Okay, by understanding these two pieces, we will get an hierarchy. Okay, that for this kind of application, you should first target these two tools. If these two tools are not working, go for this. So for example, if I'm trying to click a submit button, okay? The button is just a simple submit button, but somehow my code is not able to, my command, web recorder, let's start with the web recorder, is not able to identify the properties behind it. Okay, now since this is not working, I'll go and I'll try to click submit button using object learning. Okay, let's say this is a bank website built inside a Flex and have extra security layers. Okay, it won't identify the properties. So object cloning also failed here. Then I'll go ahead and try my keystrokes. Okay, I'll see whether there is any shortcut on the screen that I can go and navigate to submit. I'll see whether using tab, maybe some defined number of tabs I can go to submit and I can hit it. Even if that is not there, I'll try using images, okay, using the surface automation. I'll try to capture the image and then I'll use the surface automation technique. Okay, whether I'm able to click a surface automation with the image. Okay, yes, it is working, then fine, I'll keep it. Okay, so in this way, okay, based on your application nature, okay, you need to explore different options here. Okay, there will be a very good chances that your application is secure and the available tools are not working. So in this way, okay, you have to get in hands-on uh, on how to use different tools on different platforms. Okay, this is something that you will learn when we'll be doing the use cases. Why? Because in use cases we'll come across different applications and their nature, and you will understand, okay, this is not working, I should go with this. This is not working, I should try with this. Okay, so this is how it works, based on our judgment and based on our experience on the application that we have worked on. Okay. Okay, so Rimanji is asking that you will provide full license software or trial version software. Please get in touch with Gopi regarding the software requirement, okay, how they are planning to give and which version and what is the policy that they are using it, okay. Okay, we have another user telling this. May I know the process after training to get the certification? So I believe, and I know that the tech classes do give their own certification. Okay, I'm not sure whether you're talking about the tech classes certification or automation anywhere provided certification. AA certification. So in order to get an AA certification, we need to get connected to directly to AA regarding the certification. What is the, so ideally the training, the AA certification program is AA people, AA folks come to your facility, the organization, conduct a 5-day of training, and then at the 5th day, they have a test schedule wherein they evaluate based on your MCQs and the practical, and then align. If you are passed, then they give the AA certification. This is the standard format that we follow in our organizations, and I'm not sure how it is with the individual, but yes, there is all support available. You can create a ticket there and ask them that I am working for so-and-so company and I would want a individual level AA certification on this. Okay. The next question by Ramanje is, will you be providing sample project for practical practice purpose? Yes, I'll be providing you sample use cases. For instance, today you need to do a data extraction exercise to extract this chunk of data, put into this and format it on this. So these kind of use cases wherein we'll be going and playing around with the ERP application, different sort of ERP application, web-based application, we would be frequently doing. And yes, I'll be also sharing you your evaluation, your script, and we will be undergoing and understanding what are the challenges and what are the good to go things that you have come across while doing the project or the use cases when you are doing. Okay, so we would use the term use cases more and not the project, because one project have pieces related to only that particular exercise. For example, I have a project called as vendors of payment, wherein I'm doing only I'll have scripts with respect to only the payments of vendors. Okay, but when I'll use the term use cases, I'll be having different use cases for different scenarios. So this is how the terminology that we use. Okay, I hope that answers your question too. So for individual certification, do we need to contact the AA directly saying that we got trained and have hands-on experience? Yes. Ramanji is asking, may I know the course validation? I'm not sure what do you mean by course validation. If you could please elaborate it more with respect to what validation, I will be able to get a clear understanding. And secondly, most importantly, guys, when you are joining the training session, make sure that you have a working internet, okay? You have the tool, Automation Anywhere, installed on your system, okay? And thirdly, the most important piece, that you have a working mic available with you, okay? Because during the training session, I would want each and every one of you to continuously interact. Okay, we'll be passing the control to your end, wherein you would be also doing and showing us a practical whenever there is a practical session. Okay, so mic is a must. Okay, we still have a couple of days to go before we start the training, so you can arrange. If you don't have a mic, you can go ahead and buy it, but please make sure you have a mic with you. Okay. Any other question, guys, before we wind up the session for today?
So why it is called boat?
Okay, it's okay. When you say boat, do you mean this BOT creator space BOT runner?
Yeah, because like you're referring to BOT runner, BOT. Like, is there any
Okay,
specific?
so these are bots. So robot. Okay, if you go ahead and Google the term robot is built for an hardware robot, okay, which does all the mechanical related stuff. Now, this thing that we are currently working on is a software execution, okay. We have a software created, we have a EXE created, and we are deploying it, okay, and on our systems. So this is a software bots. These are the software robots. So the term that we use are bots. Robots ka bots. Okay,
Okay.
because bots are the software EXEs which are executing on a screen, on a desktop, or any other software cycles.
Okay. I have two last questions. So one is that that the tool that you mentioned, that there is a automation part of automation anywhere, like where we can perform testing as well. So by any chance, is it something that you can cover? Like, do you have expertise on that, or can you help?
So here the entire training would be into the process automation and the concept of process automation only. Okay.
Okay.
Testing is all together with a different mindset that you go ahead and do it. Our focus would be RPA, how we can do a use case for a process automation.
But but if there is any extended course, so will you be able to, like,
Uh,
can you train, or I'm just
I'm
curious
not,
that in future.
yeah. I know that. But as of now, we are not taking testing concepts into place. Okay. As of now, not planned as of now. Again, see, both are same thing. Okay. Automation testing and process automation. Okay. The way, the development and everything is actually the same. Okay. But the mindset that we use while creating a process automation solution and while creating a testing solution, both are different. Okay. So that is the reason, I mean, once you are into process automation, it is very difficult for you to think from an testing mindset. That is what my view is. Okay.
So, so this tool is mainly considered as a development tool, or for production support, or like any support tool or any admin tool. How this tool can be categorized as?
See, this tools helps you automate your process. Okay. It will create scripts which would be interacting with your application to do a job that you're doing manually. Okay. Now, if you want to use a tool in a production support, in a development, or maybe in an admin, that is application that you can use. But this is what the tool does. Okay.
So is it true that automation anywhere can only be used in a production environment, but not in QA or not in pre-prod
So
environment?
when you say, okay, let me help. When you say it can, if whether it can be used in a production or in a QA, what is the difference when it is a production or it's a QA?
No, I mean, like production and pre-prod environment, so which is kind of replica of the production. Can we use that?
So see, I'm just trying to help you answer your question by asking you cross question. So the difference is only pprod and qprod. Okay, your URL for a production would be having maybe, let's say, acceptance if it's a test. Okay, it's the change of URL, right?
Right.
And whenever you do a normal web-based
Yeah,
automation, you can
exactly. So
define.
that is what I was thinking, that like if this tool can be used in production, then like we can use it in the pre-prod as well, because it's a replica. But somewhere in the forum I have like I seen someone mention that this tool can only be used in the production. So that doesn't seems to like a true statement.
No, so you can use, irrespective of whether it's a production instance or a test instance, you should have an application, working application with you, and that's all. You can, now you have the entire limitless boundaries open for you. Okay, it depends upon you how you want to use it, on which application you want to use it, be it a desktop application, be it a web-based application, anything.
Okay, and like one last question, that like this tool, actually I was trying to see that like how is the market opportunity, and I believe that this tool is not very old, like it's pretty new tool in the market. So how is the opportunities there? Because I didn't find much job openings for this tool and something. Maybe I'm not searching it right. I'm just trying to understand that how is the like future options.
Yeah, Rahul, if you can please tell me your demographic location, maybe I'll get a better idea.
Like in USA?
Okay, you are in US. Okay, and so currently, okay, we have this IT way for RPA ongoing, wherein each and every company are trying to replace their all the jobs, okay, all the process which are being done manually with the help of RPA, and again with the cognitive computing. When I say cognitive, they are also adding the essence of machine learning, neural language processing, and AI elements into it. Okay. Now this is something they are getting with the help of an RPA solution. So for instance, I have different use case wherein I have an unstructured data. So I'm using a machine learning to get rid of unstructured data and convert into structured data. And once we get the structured data, the output has been given to an RPA solution to get the output. Yeah. Okay. So now earlier 2 years, 2 to 3 years back, the companies were more focused into building all the RPA solutions, okay, replacing all of their manual jobs with the automation. And now, okay, maybe now or maybe after a year or two, all the companies will try to introduce AI along with the RPA solution. Okay, so when we work in our organization, not just an RPA, we don't assess and process from an RPA standpoint, but we also see how we can integrate a different AI or different other components which can increase the scope of the solution. At the end of the day, we don't want humans to waste their precious time on doing a job which can be done by a computer. Talking about the market, currently, now since each and every organization has a target to replace all of their manual jobs, the market is quite very high. Okay, it's very high, and the demand for RPA developers is very high. Okay, now again, in the market, we have different RPA tools available. Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, UiPath, OpenSpan. So these are the leading four tools as of now in the market. Okay, and currently the star performers are Automation Anywhere and Blue Prism. Okay, now again, different organizations have different requirement, have different pricing policy, and based on that, they are choosing either of them. Okay, so now it depends what the requirement is of that particular organization. In my organization, we use all the tools. Okay, so that's the reason we know how one tool is different from another tool. So if anyone is planning to go into an RPA, okay, they can first target one tool, learn that, get an hands-on experience on the tool by doing one or two projects, okay, then get using, by that same approach, they'll be also getting more clear understanding regarding the approaches, the RPA technology, how does it work, where it does not work, where it works, what are the future, how can we enhance more ourselves, and then go for the next tools learning. Okay, not just limiting with yourself with one tool, but also expanding your horizons into different tools. But again, that should be done only once when you have a grip on one tool, because master of Jack is something which would be acquired only when you get a proper deep understanding. So this is what my overview is regarding the RPA and the RPA technology that we're going on in India here. Okay, I'm not sure about why you're not able to see more job openings here. But yes, we have a lot of requirement here in India, maybe because most of the development offices, headquarters are, the development head offices are being held in India. That is the reason the requirement here is more. I'm sure in US also it will be starting, but maybe it will take some time to come to work to load there. But yeah, I am aware a lot of my folks are there on RPA, okay. Just a personal view, but yeah, they went there to search their experienced field, but they have, US already have a lot of developers and a lot of business analysts. The only way of to get a job was to get through an RPA. So RPA saved them actually. Maybe if you can try searching, and maybe you can try contacting the concerned people, maybe get to know the opportunities that are available hanging out outside. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome Rahul. Ramanji is also asking me, will you be helping me in resume preparation? I'm sorry, I won't be able to do that, but yeah, whatever content or whatever explanation or whatever discussion that you would want to do it, I can help you with that, okay? I can help you explaining what do we do, how we do, okay? And maybe basis on that, you can try and create it on your self and put it across the pieces, okay? If you will do a normal Google, you'll see a lot of different templates or the resumes available for an RPA, okay? So basis on your understanding level, you can try and make a mashup, and you can write in your expertise areas and the places you have your experience, okay? Okay guys, so that was it from my end. Okay, I hope if there is any questions, please let me know or let Gopi know. Okay, we can take down your questions individually. Okay, else not, we will wrap up the session and we'll meet again in the training sessions. going forward in the maybe in couple of days that we aim to start. The date is still not yet finalized, but yes, we'll keep you posted. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining in. Hope to see you. Bye-bye. Have a good day.